Alright though, Taffy here, and I'm going to teach you how to Roll20. So this is the first of a 3-part series where I'm going to cover the very few tools that have got me by over the last 3 years. Now, what some of you are going to be thinking, Taffy, what the f*** am I looking at? Well, for the sake of the tutorial, I thought it might be handy to see it from the player's perspective at the same time. On the left, we have myself logged in as me, viewing the game as a GM. And on the right, yes, I'm using Edge. I didn't have another browser, don't judge me. On Edge, I'm logged into a guinea pig account as a player. Now, the most astute amongst you would notice that there are more buttons, gizmos, and what sits on the GM view than it is on the player view. But the only two we're going to be concerning ourselves with today is this one here, and that little blue thing there. So, let's start with this. Or more specifically, layers. What the hell are layers and how do you use them? Well, for those of you who are familiar with Photoshop, that should be explanation enough. Otherwise, it's real easy. So the whole point of layers is to keep the background in the background so you don't accidentally mess up your wonderful work while you're moving tokens around. As you can see, I can interact with this layer here and I cannot click on the background. So the first layer is map and background, sphere maps and backgrounds. The second layer is objects and tokens, and that's for objects and tokens. Or more specifically, tokens and objects that you're going to be interacting with during the game. If you're not going to be interacting with the object, it's just going to stay there, then you've got in the wrong layer, stupid. Move it into the background. See? Told you this stuff is easy. So the third layer is the GM info overlay, which is just another objects and tokens, but one which only the GM can see. I very rarely use this because, well, let me put it this way. What is the point in having a token on the map that only the GM can see? Just move the token onto the map when you're ready for the players to see it. Make it easy on yourself. And the fourth and final layer is definitely on the pile of things that I never use, dynamic lighting. If you aren't interested in knowing more about this, I think Ozzy is planning on recording a tutorial on this, so expect the video to be uploaded on that in the near future. So essentially, what you're doing when you're selecting these layers is you're moving the cursor between these layers. So if I move into the GM overlay, I can now move this object. If I move it into the objects, I can move it this object. And if I move it into the background, I can move the background. If you accidentally put an object in the wrong layer, that's easy enough to deal with. All you need to do is right click on it, layer, and send it into whichever layer you wish to. Why is this one not catching up? Guinea pig, I think you're about to do. Refresh your page. There we go. If in doubt, refresh. And that's layers, guys. That's how you set up a page. But most games are going to have more than one page. So that takes us on to our next tool for today, which is this thing here, page toolbar. When we click this, we are greeted with this drop down. We can see a welcome screen right here, and we can see a little tool here, create new page. Guess where we need to click to create a new page? Yeah, you got it. Click there, creates new page. It's untitled, so let's give it a name. Get TBK'd. There you go. Now to move into the page, you click the page. See guys, I told you this stuff is easy. So all we're going to do now is use all the tools we've just learned to set up this new page. So the first thing we need to do is hop into the background, select an image. And oh guys, when you're browsing your various different sites for resources such as Google Images, and you come across something that is not necessarily what you're looking for, but is useful, do yourself a favor and whack it in a folder. It's always handy to build up a library, and you never know when you're going to use it. So for this, I'm just going to use a plain grass background, drag and drop to upload, stretch to fit. And guys, if Roll20 has eyeballed one of their patches again, and all that happens when you drag and drop an image into the window is that it opens up a separate tab with an HTTP version of it. You have this tool here, which is your art library. Click on that, click upload, choose a file, browse through your folders, and you can just upload it manually. So now that we have the background, we need to put some stuff on there, such as an ancient green dragon. Now, one thing you'll notice when I go back into half screen is that our players are still on the first map. So if we click on our page toolbar again, and notice this banner here saying players, that's where your players are. If you drag and drop the players into the other map, it moves the players into the other map. Guys, I keep telling you, this stuff is really easy. So being able to be on a different map to your players is really handy. So you can build the page while the players are doing whatever dumb shit they're doing that's leading to them facing an ancient green dragon. So just to recap guys, we now know how to set up pages, put the background in, put the objects in, to move objects and stuff between layers. We know how to create new pages. We know how to move players between pages. And that's it guys. So if you're new to the Tabletop Arcade, the Tabletop Arcade is a community of nerdy tabletop gamers. If you're interested in getting involved in that noise, come roll some dice and share memes with us. Links below in the description. If you're not bored yet, and I've already uploaded the second video, I'll shove it somewhere where you can click it, probably in the description or some pop-up if I can figure out how that works. Other than that guys, click your like, subscribe and all that wonderful noise, and that's it. Cheers.